Hey folks, this is Bob Warfield from CNC Cookbook. I'm here today to give you a quick introduction to GWizard Estimator. Tell you everything you need to know to get started doing machine shop cost estimating with our GWizard Estimator software. Okay? Why GWizard Estimator? Well, for starters, many of you will know that having dedicated estimation software can be far more accurate and efficient than just trying to do it with a spreadsheet or pad and paper with an adding machine. We made GWizard Estimator because a lot of people were trying to use GWizard Calculator and Estimator to help them with their estimation of job cycle times. The thing is, we have most of the data and calculations needed to do a feature-based estimation of your jobs. Feature-based estimation just means we're going to estimate the cost of the job feature by feature, just like using a CAM program. So for example, you'd look at your part, and each feature on the part has a cycle time estimate that goes into the overall estimate, and that's all added up to figure out the times and the costs. This is particularly easy to do with GWizard Estimator because we have a feature both in Estimator and Calculator that we call CAD/CAM Wizards. CAD/CAM Wizards work just like your CAM program, only they require far fewer questions to be answered in order to figure out everything that's needed for a complete cycle time estimate. And in the process, they'll give you back a complete feeds and speeds recipe, what tool to use, and other valuable information that you can use for planning the job going forward. It seems pretty obvious to us. Why wouldn't you want to use the software you use to do the feeds and speeds on your jobs to figure the cycle times on your cost estimates? After all, we're the industry's leader for feeds and speeds. So let's take a quick look at GWizard Estimator, our machine shop cost estimating software, and see just how it works. For starters, you'll need to get the program. That's easy to do. If you get onto our website, you can go to the home page or the products page and just scroll down, go to the estimator page, and start a free trial. Now, you will need to either have a free trial of GWizard Calculator or a subscription of Calculator, because GWizard Estimator is free while it's in beta test to GWizard Calculator users. Later on, when we start charging for the software, you'll be able to buy a separate subscription for it. So register for Estimator, go back, register for Calculator if you don't already have a subscription to it, and that'll get you ready to go for Estimator. The next thing you want to do is download the software. Just go to our help page, just click the help menu at the top of any of our pages. The download links are right here at the top. You can go over here to Estimator. It runs on both PCs and Macs. Download it. When it's done downloading, run the software to install it. There's complete instructions here that tell you how to do that. Okay? So now let's take a look at Estimator itself. Here's what the software looks like when it comes up. It's divided into a set of different tabs. Really easy to use. You just go left to right. It operates using spreadsheets, so what its goal is to do is to collect all the information needed to create for you a spreadsheet that you can modify to your heart's content and use as the basis for your cost estimate or job quote. Okay, so we collect a little basic information about your customer, the buyer's name, that sort of thing. There's a summary at all times of the calculated values here. And that summary is based on a set of details. And for any given job, we have costs that are either variable costs, meaning these are per part costs, or fixed costs, one-time costs. So a good example of a fixed cost might be if you decide to create a fixture for your job. And in fact, we actually have a little fixture calculator that's designed to help you determine through a set of scenarios whether it actually makes economic sense given the quantities you're going to manufacture to create a fixture for the job or not. So that's a pretty cool feature that's unique to GWizard Estimator. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to add features or other operations that represent costs. So features are things that appear on the part. They're holes, pockets, 2D profiles, those kinds of things. Whereas ops are other types of costs. So for example, you might have programming costs, materials, cost of rough cutting, consumables, any number of different costs that you might want to add in, and each one has a worksheet or calculator associated with it to help you go through and figure it out. For example, for programming, what we'll do after you've entered the features is we'll count up all those features for you if you click the count button. We'll let you assign a standard time that you think it takes to do the CAM programming for a feature, a rate that you're going to pay your CAM programmer. You can put a description if you want. All of our different operations have a description. We'll figure out the time and cost associated with that. Hit Save Op, and now you've got a new op that's been added to your estimate. Okay? So let's do a very quick and easy feature here. I'm just going to do a part that we've done before in our blog. So let me just do this little part here, which looks like a carburetor spacer, a car part. It's a pretty simple part. We need to profile a little inside area, cut that out, an outside area. In fact, I'm going to do this as a pocket so we convert that all to chips so it won't get hung up when it drops out. And we need to drill 8 holes around the edge. So if we were going to do that part, what we would do in GWizard Estimator is we would come over to our, bring back the software here, and we'd come over to Add Features. Now here's all the features we have on the Add Features screen. So you can do pockets, 2D profiles, holes, 3D surfaces, face milling. There are custom features that let you use any of the different things our normal GWizard calculator feeds and speeds calculator can do. And these all change. This is set for a mill right now, a Haas VF3. If you were to switch over to a lathe, you would see lathe-related features, OD turning, ID turning, that kind of thing. But this is a mill part, this carburetor spacer. So let's just run through the features. We'll start with the pocket in the middle. And as I said, you have to answer relatively few questions in order to get your estimate. So in this case, we're going to make this material out of 1/2 inch thick, this part out of 1/2 inch thick material. We're going to keep the same corner radius, a 1/4 inch corner radius. We need a little bit of information that you can get out of your CAD software. We want to know the volume of this area. Let's just say it's 10 cubic inches, and we want to know the perimeter of the wall. It's 12.5 inches. It's really easy information to get. We're going to be putting this into the estimate. This is the center cavity. So we'll just put a little comment there. I'm going to hit recalculation on it and add it to the estimate. And so what we'll see if we go back to the detail page is, okay, there's now roughing and finishing. And we've got the tool, the time for the operation, the cost of the operation, which is based on the machine's hourly rate. And by the way, we include an hourly rate calculator over here that makes it easy for you to figure what the hourly rate ought to be for your machines, and each machine gets its own. The whole recipe that you need for feeds and speeds to do those operations was generated with just those few questions that you answered. Let's keep going. We got the center cavity. Let's do the 8 holes. Okay, those are going to be 3/8 inch holes that we put in, and they're going to go down 1/2 inch deep. Okay, I don't really need to tell it anything else other than there's a quantity, and I'm going to put comment here. There are 8 mounting holes for this part. I'm going to recalculate that. I'm going to add it to the estimate, and if we go back and look, here are 8 holes all plugged in, and it's picked out the tool, it's got the operation time, the feeds and speeds, all the information is there for you, just that quick and easy. All right, let's go pick up the next thing. We've got let's see, we've got the profile around the outside. So let's do the 2D profile. Again, we're working with 1/2 inch thick material. Let's say the corner radius is a 1/4 inch, and there are some inside corners. If we look at the part. These are inside corners here around the outside, so we need to take care of those. Let's forget the stock allowance. Let's just do a part cutout. So that'll do a full slot all the way around with a finish allowance. In terms of our volume and size, let's forget volume. Let's estimate this based on the extents. So that part is about 8 inches by 8 inches. And let's see, we're going to add that to the estimate. So this is the outside profile. And we're going to recalculate that. Add it to the estimate. Okay. And here's our outside profile, both roughing and finish pass. Last thing we want to do is let's go ahead and face mill the part. So it's true on the top and the bottom. We're going to shave 1/10 of an inch off. And again, we said it was an 8 inch by 8 inch part. If we look at the extents, just say face mill to true the part top and bottom. And that means we've got to do 2 of these, one for the top, one for the bottom. Okay, we do the recalc, and we add that to the estimate. All right, and so those are all the different operations. So we could go on like this. You know, we could do some deburring, you know, maybe a vibratory tumbler work. We might send something out for anodizing, all of those kinds of things. But let's just go ahead and take a look at what we've got. And what we see is we didn't put any fixed costs. The cost per piece is $5.44. You know, these are the rates of manufacture we can do in terms of pieces an hour for an 8-hour shift for a week, for a month of time. Cycle times, here's what they look like. And so you get a pretty good idea of how gWizard Estimator is going to work for you. So go ahead. Give it a try. We have a 30-day free trial on it, and in fact, while it's in beta test, it's an unlimited free trial. We're going to be in beta test for some months yet, and so all you have to do is either be on the trial for Calculator or a Calculator subscriber, and you're welcome to use gWizard Estimator for free as long as it's in beta test. Thanks very much.